Hi, welcome back to Speedier Reads. It's Joanne Oates here, and our run up to Christmas we're going to be reviewing 12 great books that have inspired me that you can buy for your loved ones who either are creative or want to be creative in the future. And today we're going to be talking about Creativity, a Short and Cheerful Guide by John Cleese. Now, if you haven't heard of John Cleese, I don't know what planet you've been on. He's obviously a comedy legend, and you may be more familiar with his work with 40 Towers, or whether it's his work with Monty Python or recent stuff he's been in on TV. He's consistently someone who talks about creativity very passionately, and is one of our first Fast Forward TV recommendations, which was on Faster Ideas when we first launched. And I'd recommend you go and check it out because it's a great video about creativity and management, which is not only really inspiring but it's hilarious. I've read quite a few of his other books, mainly So Anyway, his autobiography, which came out a few years ago, plus also a couple of books he's done with Robin Skinner, the psychologist, Families and How to Survive Them, and Life and How to Survive It. So I'm kind of familiar with his writing style. But what was really nice about this is that John sort of dips into lots of different areas of creativity. It's also a really easy book to read. I read it in an afternoon. So particularly if you're buying this for someone who doesn't think of themselves as creative or doesn't do anything creative at the moment or in their job, it's a really good entry-level book to get you thinking about what is creative thinking. Plus it's written in a very humorous and sort of light-hearted way. It's not too heavy or anything like that. So it's a great stocking filler, I think. What's in there? Well, there's lots of things that I already knew and picked up along the way, and a lot of things you'll see on Faster Ideas are similar to some of the things in the book. However, there were definitely some things in here that I didn't know about. There's an amazing story about like the unconscious mind, and I'm going to read it for you now. Put simply, you can't ask your unconscious a question and expect a direct answer, a neat, tidy little verbal message. This is because your unconscious communicates its knowledge to you solely through the language of the unconscious, and the language of the unconscious is non-verbal. It's like the language of dreams. It shows you images, it gives you feelings. It nudges you around without immediately knowing what it's getting at. And then he comes back to that later in the book. I think what's interesting about that is that's what we're trying to do on fasterideas.com, is we're just trying to give you nudges that you might not have thought about, nudges that come from different industries that you not be aware of, to help you deliver some new ideas. And John does a really good job of explaining all that in the book. He also talks about an idea which I'd heard before called Hare Brain and Tortoise Mind, which is an idea written by psychologist Guy Claxon, who in that thing that we think that the quick thinking brain, the hare brain, will beat out the slower tortoise brain just by the fact that it's faster. But in fact, it's really important that, yeah, have fast thinking in the initial stages when you want to get the sort of crazy ideas out. But you need the tortoise mind to slow us down and help us develop and work out what is the best idea, not just the first idea. He also talks about William Goldman, and if you know William Goldman, he was a famous screenwriter, but he also famously said no one knows anything. I think that was still true today, and not just in screenwriting, but in many industries. And he talks about this thing which I'm calling sticky focus, which I really like the idea of. It's about that when he's trying to focus on something, he writes it down on a piece of paper and he sticks it right in front of his nose on the computer screen. And if his mind wanders, he would look at the note and it would bring him back to what he was trying to think about and what he's trying to achieve. So if you just sit there, eventually the mind will kind of refrain back. It's a bit like mindfulness in a way. It's like letting you return to the thing. But obviously if you have a note in front of you, it's going to be a lot easier for you to do that. I think in summary, the book's really brilliant. It's really accessible. What I'm going to be talking about on these book reviews is how easy it is to read if you're someone who's not in the creative industries, because that's very much what we're about on Faster Ideas. And when we recommend books, I'm going to also be talking about the fact whether it's a good loo book. because having a good loo book, and if you're not familiar with the word loo, toilet, bathroom, whatever you prefer, it's really important. And some people have their best ideas in the toilet, so it's important to have books around you that you can pick up and sort of dive into in those key moments. You know, not everyone's about that. Obviously wash your hands afterwards, but yeah, it's a great loo book because you can just dip in and out of it. You don't have to read the whole thing in one go like I did. And also, as I said, it's very accessible. You know, it's not one of those books where you need to have an MA or an MSc or whatever, PhD to understand it. And it's really very much in the spirit of Faster Ideas. Creativity, a short and cheerful guide by John Cleese is available to buy on our bookshop.org Faster Ideas bookshop. Links below. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also don't forget to like, follow and share all our posts on this channel, but also on all the other social media platforms as well. That's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with day 2 of 12 Days of Christmas Speedier Reads book reviews. Thanks very much.